today.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, I like that. So it's our life again. Hi everyone, welcome, welcome. So welcome to this heart center place. So I'm Ria Wang.
And I'm
Today we want
Marissa.
to, you're Marisha. I know. So Marisha and I today we want to talk about a little bit about how to master your energy, awaken your inner sage. How Marisha, let's talk about I think maybe everybody understanding about the energy. How do we master our energy? But what does mean inner sage? Some people may be questioning about how do you mean inner sage?
Inner sage is your intuition that is the wisest part of you. It's a good intuition. It's not the feeling that you're going to be going through some kind of dangerous situation. No, the sage is actually the driving force, the spiritual driving force that talks to you for positive outcomes, for you to be better, for you to grow and improve your life and be happy.
I like that. Maybe on top of that, I want to add on a little bit the inner sage. Also, we mind every second, every minute, we have so many thoughts. Then in there, from the research, we have a 95%, 90% of the thoughts, is repeated. 85% of the thoughts is probably is negative. The inner sage also, how do you update your thoughts is more positive. Use the positive thoughts to expanding your thinking.
And that's
Can we?
why it's so important to be aware of this, because most of the time, like you said, our thoughts are programmed in a way that is unconscious, like we just absorb like automatic um mindset. We absorb behaviors, we absorb situations, and we create this pattern of thinkings and thoughts that for us it's normal. We're like blindly believing that those things are normal. But now the invitation for now, I guess, it's to wake up and say, wait a minute, I can choose if I want to believe or not on those thoughts.
Yes. So, Marcia, do you believe everything in the world, everything around us is energy?
Yes, I believe that.
So I think everything around us is energy. Everything around us is a frequency. How do you know your energy today, or you hang out with somebody, that energy is good for you, or energy is draining for you? What are you aware? So when you understand that energy around you, how do you master your energy? I think that can be open up many part of your life.
Absolutely. Because we are like antennas, we are perceiving frequencies or energies around us all the time. And it's impossible to be isolated from the world, from your environment, from things that are happening around us. So it's even more impactful, the emotion behind the message. So when two people communicate, words, content in words are being said, but the most important thing, or the way it's going to be landing in the person who is listening, is actually what we call in positive intelligence the PQ channel, right? Which is the energy with whatever was said, the intention behind, right? So that is what is actually receiving and being perceived by the other person. And that is way more impactful than the content of the words that are being said.
Yeah, when we talk about the sage, so what is the sage energy? The sage energy is the calm, is your inner words that you have. Then something help you then uplifting. That is not the some energy from the fear or criticism. That energy help you is draining you. So I wanted to share one day, like even yesterday, my students was text me. They said, "Oh, Ria, so I was training my students how to use the Tibetan symbol to release the fear, to release the stress." Then she was texting me, said, "Oh, I tried this practice with my mom. She loved it, but she tell me she don't like my voice. She said my voice doesn't have confidence." So I was tell her, I said, maybe you sometimes, a mom or people who we know mom love us, but sometimes they are a little bit of criticizing. That's come back to the stickler, the saboteur, instead use the sage, right?
Exactly. Yeah, no,
Then how
that's
to,
happens
yes.
all the time.
Yes, when we hear somebody around us then talk about, oh, I don't like your voice, that's self-insecure. Maybe that's raising more self-insecure. Then I was tell her, I think your voice is beautiful and very sweet, but we could improve that confidence. The confidence come from how do you understand the skills, then also come from how do you showing up. Even yes, I'm still practice. I'm not very professional good yet, but in the process of practice, and look what I'm doing. That brought a lot sage perspective. Is that what I ask you about that? Repeat the word. Is sage perspective.
It's a sage perspective. It means
Perspective.
that the concept is really interesting, and I want to share this with you, Ria, because this is it's blowing my mind. Because I'm doing research on longevity and age reversal and things we can do to slow our aging. So the other day, I released a video that talks about how can we extend the length of our telomeres. Telomeres are little portions in our genes that as we age, they get a little short and short every time. So with time, science thought that it was just a way that things went like that, right? And it's one of the hallmarks of aging. But now we know that we can reverse that length and we can actually increase the length of those telomeres.
Wow, that's amazing.
And
How we can do that?
exactly that. And when I was reading, and there's a lady who won a Nobel Prize because she discovered the telomerase, the enzyme that extends the telomeres. She did an experiment, and I'll promise I'm not gonna be so long. But the experiment was basically moms taking care of kids with special needs. One pool of moms, they were really struggling with the activities and all the everything that the kids needed. The moms were very stressful. And then the other pool of moms were also taking care of special needs kids with special needs. But the perception of the same stress in this second group of moms was different because they were not thinking, oh, I have to, this is a burden that I have to do this. How unfair my life is that I have a family member with these difficulties. No, on the contrary, they felt that they were gifted the situation of being in that, proactive way of giving. And they felt blessed and they felt positive about it. So it's the same stress, taking care of kids with special needs. However, the moms who did not perceive the situation as stress had longer telomeres. And with
Mm.
longer telomeres, they live longer.
Mm. Then talk about the age, talk about the energy, how that energy affect our age. I wanted to share one thing, Marshall. That is really common. Everybody knows. You see, if you see someone is older, you can see his face like grumpy, grumpy, have a lot of sour feelings. You know this person probably is always get anger, always get frustration because that years, that hobbies, not say just hobbies, years, how do she express his energy that's showing up in his face. That's why getting old, then feel that face is grumpy, then sour. But you can see someone is old, maybe older than that person, but his face is just so much joy and so much, you can feel how much is a gentle energy there. And
Yeah.
the person, not about the wrinkles, but I can feel she is much younger as we talk about how to upgrade your energy. So I wanted to share one thing in the daily life, how you can really feel the age that not say the age, we age is normal, is a law of the nature, but how do we can in that part of that in the daily life we can make that little bit better.
Okay, well, when you find evidence and you look at the blue zones, there are 5 blue zones in the world, 5 locations where people live above 100. They're centenarians, healthy in their body, healthy in their minds, and they're enjoying and thriving. And they don't go through the disease process of, health declination as they age. They are living fantastic lives. One of them is right here in California, so it's possible, it's doable. When you look at what do they have in common, there's one thing that is invisible in most protocols. And when I realized that you already say the magic word, but it's part of the 7 pillars of age reversals for me, and it's a cultivation of joy. Because like you said, when you observe these centenarian people, all of them, they are happy, they are celebrate, they are in celebration mode. Whatever they're doing, they are in celebration mode. And that energy, the frequency of joy, elevates them, reduce stress, increase dopamine. There's a huge biochemical cascade of reactions in our body, in our brain, that is keeping them young, that is
Yes,
slowing their
yes.
aging.
Yeah, from the I always like I said from the perspective of the daily life. Someone maybe not a professional, someone doesn't go through with all go through like me teaching some vibrational how to update your energy. But how do we do in the daily life? I want to share one simple sense. I think Marichelle, you and I before we talk about this practice, the practice is every morning when you wake up in the morning. If you like doing meditation, that's wonderful, great. But after your meditation, before ending, you exhale, you feel confident, or you feel calm, peaceful, then there is little things add on. Is put a smiling on your face. Just smile. Just let little things changing. That shift your energy. If you are not a meditator, you say I don't meditate much. That's okay. But the first things in the morning, when you go into the mirror, see first imaging of yourself, put a smiling on your face. Then tell yourself, you are beautiful, just as who you are. That affirmation, that smiling with your face, that changing your chemical in your body, also that brought that uplifting energy for you.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that. I'll share mine. My way to bring a smile is when I observe nature. It could be just, really focus on the singing of the birds. Now that we are in spring here, every morning I go for a walk and I just really, really hear the sound of the birds singing. The other day I saw a woodpecker super close, right from my window. And, when I observe nature, I just get in this wonder mode of observing. because it's incredibly beautiful, right? And when you tune, when you get attuned to that energy, you are lifting your energy, the energy of the earth, the energy of nature, observing a sunset, right? Or just holding hands with someone you love, or just petting your dog, your cat. Connect to that energy, because if it's from nature, it can't be wrong. It's
Yes,
beautiful.
nature always give us a
Mm.
beautiful, and not say always give us beautiful energy. Nature sometimes bring stones, bring different things. But I wanted to share another one is, as you said, holding hands, that uplifting your energy. Did you know scientific say if every day you give 12 hugs per day, are you the hugger? The Marishal? I'm the big hugger. I love every time I see my friends or family, I always give the big, big hugger. The hug other people make me feel happy and connected.
Yes, I love that. From the little town that I am in, from Argentina, where I was raised, we give a hug and we give 2 kisses when we meet people. And one of my daughter, they say, "Mom, are you crazy? Why are you guys doing so many kisses?" And in Brazil, they have 3, like
Mm.
1, 2, 3.
Mm, beautiful, beautiful. So give hugs that increase your chemical, increase your joy, happiness. Also, if you don't have anybody around you, I want to say, Marisha, today we want to finish with the hug. Then done with my life today, I give you the big hug. Then hug myself also.
Yes, I love that. I love it.
Remember, if you listen Marcia and Ria's talk, Marcia and Ria and me always come here. We have some give little simple tips. We help that tips can help you raising your sage, raising your energy around you. Then a simple, easy way make your life have a little bit more joy. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, everybody. So we hope to see you next time.